And welcome once again to another episode of Stu Him Productions Presents
J&M Solve the World. I am James.
And I am Matt. And with us, we have two special guests. Up first, you know him, you love him, returning guest, starting wide receiver and cornerback for the Skyline Tigers, Mr. Aiden Battles.
Hello, what's up?
And linebacker for the Skyline Tigers, number 52, Jordan.
Hey.
What's your last name, Jordan?
Long,
okay.
Jordan Long.
Glad to be back, boys.
Okay.
Aiden's also been doing a little kick returning, too.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's playing them special teams.
Special
Hello.
Yeah, but he's low, so it doesn't matter.
All right. So to
What'd
start this one off, we've got to talk about one of the biggest things to happen in the sports world in the last 5 years, at least.
St. Louis Cardinal history, it's
Yep.
been longer than that.
Yeah, since 1998.
Yeah.
Mr. Albert Pujols,
700.
Congrats. I just seen
the
that too.
700 Club.
On Instagram.
Heard about it last night. The Giants and Diamondbacks. San Francisco Giants stopped the game. All the players in the outfield turned and looked at the big screen they have in Arizona and watched Pujols round the bases for number 700.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Can imagine hitting 700 home runs.
Respect. That's respect, though. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, there's only 3 other players in the 700 Club.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You got the Babe, got Barry Bonds,
Barry Bonds,
and Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron. But Pujols
Legends.
and Hank Aaron are the only two to have 700 and 3,000 hits.
That is correct.
That's crazy.
Also, big news in Cardinal Nation. Number 4 and 5, last season,
Yeah.
they are retiring.
That's
Oh, wow.
well, that's not big news. It's been kind of noted from
Yeah.
the start of the season that this was
Yeah.
their final year. But I heard on Sports Talkcast yesterday, I think it was, they were saying, can Pujols just go ahead and sign another year and surpass the Babe and Hank Aaron and Barry Bonds and just be done with it, the whole steroid thing from the past? But I don't think he will, because I mean he's said that this is it.
Yeah, and I mean
Tom Brady said the same thing, and look at him.
Yeah.
I don't want to say he only got, but he had 21 home runs this season.
Right. There's a lot of baseball players that would love to have 21 home runs in
Yeah.
the season.
Oh yeah, you know,
And for him to do it at his age, that's he's had a good year.
Everyone
Yeah.
has to look up to him.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
What did Bonds end up with? Was it 750?
768, I believe it is.
I don't,
760 something.
you'll have to look it up, and it'll
Yeah.
be above his head.
Yeah, it'll be right up in here.
Yep.
Let's see here. There we go.
756 is what Aaron hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think.
Total.
I think
Yeah.
Bonds didn't go that much higher, but
I mean, for Pujols to hit 56 in a year, that'd be.
oh,
Of course, you got to look at what's his name, Aaron Judge
from
the Yankees.
yeah,
He's going for the American League single season record.
Yep.
He's at 60 right now. And, well, as of we're recording this, I don't know what's happened tonight
right.
because the Red Sox were a bunch of pussies and when they wouldn't pitch to him.
Yeah.
Well, I remember '98, the home run race between Sosa and McGuire, and there were teams that wouldn't pitch to McGuire.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, "Okay, I got your fucking number," and he would lean in and still fucking crack that bitch out of the fucking park.
He'd reach that 6 inches out of the strike zone and still crank it.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think Barry Bonds wore that armor all over his arm and everything? Because they were pitching in on him, and if they hit him, they didn't care.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to hit a home run.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just walk him? Are you allowed to do
Yeah.
that? Just walk him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of them.
Well, see, a lot of the intentional walk where they stand up
Yep.
and hold their glove out and they throw it way outside, but then there's the unintentional walk where they just don't throw anything over the plate.
Right.
And if they swing at it, they swing at it. If they don't, they don't. If they walk them, but they're
right.
not getting them for a home run.
Yeah.
I never got to see a game with Pujols, but I did.
I did see Pujols play in 05.
Yeah.
It was the first season of the new Busch Stadium. My boss, he got tickets for his son and daughter, and they couldn't go for some reason. He's like, "Hey, you want to go?" I had like 2 days' notice. We're like, "Okay." So we went, and it was way up on the first base side. It was playing San Francisco. And Pujols, I think he might have got a base hit or something, but it wasn't nothing record-breaking or anything.
Yeah.
But I got to see him and Yachty live.
I got to take, this was in 99 or 2000. I got to take one of my nieces to Diamondbacks St. Louis game when I lived out in Phoenix. And we got there early to watch batting practice. And we were 6 rows up from home plate. And the whole reason why I wanted to get there is to watch fucking Big Mac.
Yeah.
That motherfucker could just crank him. Only player at the time to hit one out of the park, what used to be known as Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix, Arizona. And the ballpark is downtown. So he hit it out of the park, out of the window, across the street, hit a fucking office building, cracked the window, and the ball fell to the street.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I will never be good at baseball.
No.
I play baseball.
You'd probably be hurting a lot less the day after.
Yeah.
Except for your arm if you throw it all the time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, pitchers, their arms shit for 5 days. That's why they'll only pitch once every 5 days.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
And you have softball players that can pitch up to anything they want to.
you know why? Because they throw underhand.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
That's a natural motion. That underhand motion
Yep.
is a natural motion. Most of your like college softball teams and stuff, they've got one pitcher. They may have a second and a third that can pitch, but they've got their number one pitcher, and she pitches every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's an underhand motion is a natural motion. The overhand motion is all jacked up on your shoulder and
Yeah.
stuff.
Speaking of pitching, something else that I saw yesterday. Yeah. Nolan Ryan, at the age of 65, throwing out a first pitch, still an 85-mile-an-hour fastball.
Oh, wow.
Holy
That's
crap.
crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy played
it's a little
more.
low on outside, but
Hey, right. But I mean,
It's still
it,
85 miles
yeah.
per hour. That's crazy.
and he
Exactly.
wasn't setting up at the front of the mound like a lot of pitchers do.
he was towing the rubber.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then there was one I saw. It didn't happen yesterday, but Randy Johnson being back up on the mound, and it's like Jesus Christ.
Did you young guys? Did you ever see the video of Randy Johnson hitting a freaking bird?
Oh, I've seen that, yep.
No, I have not.
Yeah, and then like the bird explodes.
Just exploded.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's crazy.
Because he was throwing.
98, 90, 95, 97
Yeah.
mile-an-hour fastballs on
Yeah.
a regular basis.
And then like the bird like flies in front of it while he's
Right,
pitching.
right.
And it just
Pitcher's like,
explodes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
this
seen
bird
that.
was just a poof of feathers.
Yeah.
Catcher had to look back at the umpires like, what do we call that? Foul? But I mean, yeah. What do you call? But then again, Randy Johnson, only guy that can say he's got a confirmed kill with a bird.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was a one in a
because
billion
you
shot
can't call anybody that's ever hit a ball with a bat that's hit a bird
that we know of.
that we know of
Yeah.
in the modern era since television's been invented.
Well, when Bonds was on
I'm
his
sure-
home
I'm-
run race and
I'm
he
sure
was
he-
knocking him into the bay,
I'm sure he killed some fish.
yeah, a seagull here or two.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, so let's talk about your guys' game Friday night. This would have been, what is today?
24th.
Today's the 24th, so it would have been the September 23rd.
Yes.
Yep.
Um,
Our 5th game.
You guys came out strong. And
we were up 14-0 first quarter,
Right.
and we ended the first half 14-14.
mhm.
And then we came out third quarter, and they ran it back for a kickoff return, and then they did an onside, got it, and then threw a touchdown pass. So it was like,
Yeah, just back to back within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first part of the third quarter wasn't good.
it was like 28-14, and then late in the third quarter they ended up scoring again, and then in the fourth quarter we made a comeback, and the score ended up being 35-34, and we lost by 1 point.
Yeah, but that's
couple at least 1 2-point conversion would have been made. You'd have been tied, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
of course we'd we're on the way home. It's like, man, if they got that 2-point conversion, we'd have been tied. But fuck, we'd still be there. We'd be in overtime right now.
Yeah, that would have been wild.
Well, and and not to take anything away from you guys' team or anything, but looking on their sidelines, there are guys, whether they're JV or not, that are like meant to be fucking kickers. And it's like, that's what you guys really need, is you need somebody that is a dedicated kicker.
Tongue twister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, the other team had one, and that kid,
He had a boot.
what,
Oh.
6-7 balls into the fucking
Into the
forest?
timber. Yeah, they had a net set up down there, and he kicked it over the
Kicks
net
way
every time.
over it.
Yeah. I'm gonna how they got those balls back.
Have you guys got any like Hispanic soccer players?
We have
Just
no
wa-
idea.
wa- wandering around
we have a
school.
Hispanic kid on our team. His name's Jose, but he's a wide receiver.
Yeah, Cortez.
Yeah, Jose
Yeah,
Cortez.
Jose Cortez.
But you need a Hispanic soccer player that can go out there and kick a ball.
His dad played soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has Cortez ever tried to kick?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's coordinated enough to do that.
'Cause,
He's a decent wide receiver.
well,
Well, he wants to
that's-
catch the ball.
Yeah.
you
But I
can
do have to
be.
say that was probably one of our best games.
that first game when you caught the pass, the public address announcer called it Cortez,
Yeah.
and we're like going, I thought Aiden caught that, but it was on the other side of the field from us, and
Yeah, it was a 19-yard reception, and I caught it and should have scored, but they called me out of bounds, which is bull.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So would you be up for tracking devices on your shoes and like electric sidelines that would, like, if you stepped out of bounds, it'd be like a red light on your shoe, like beep 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 beep.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot better than having these refs that don't call anything
Oh,
like
shit.
like the game yesterday. Oh, that was horrible.
I seen this thing. It's like what blind people should look like, and it showed a bunch of blind people, but then it switched over to refs.
Yeah.
That's what they do look like.
Yeah, they were that one pass interference they called on you guys. I was like, "Are you serious?"
Oh yeah, when they were literally both going for the ball.
yeah. And that was a third or a fourth down play too that gave them a
That was
first down.
it was
Yeah.
a fourth down play. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that game was rough. They were playing dirty. One of their players got ejected. It was-
Well, and it's like we were talking about during the game and then after the game. They had a kid who was so big, his jersey didn't fit, didn't
74.
have a
Boy was
belt,
Huge.
and and I had mentioned it, and I got looks after the game. But had you guys been in, obviously a bigger conference, 6A, I seen it several times in Kansas City, state quarterfinals. Kid got 2 personal fouls because he kept pulling his jersey up, and the refs couldn't see the numbers. Couldn't see his numbers.
Right.
He got 2 personal fouls, and then he got benched.
Oh wow.
And that happened to him like how many times through the game?
The whole game long.
yeah.
When he would come off the sideline, you could see his number.
Right.
But after the first play, no.
Yeah.
All you could see was his undershirt hanging over his big belly.
Yeah, the boy was huge.
Yeah. No, we should have won that game.
Yeah, but that was probably our best game out of the season.
See, out of all the teams in our conference, I hope we play Forsyth and districts.
Right. Especially
because we will beat them.
Especially in Skyline.
Yep.
Yep.
With
hopefully
as big as that kid is, I think he was on the wrong side of the ball.
Oh, instead of
honestly, I believe he should have been offensive line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he didn't have the speed.
He's going to create a hole.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, which we have a big old boy like that too.
Yeah,
like Cragen, but like
he is so
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see one play where they had you blocking for Ricky, and I'm going, no, wait, we need to reverse that.
Yeah.
Because they had you sweep around and Ricky followed you.
Yeah.
And I'm like going, no, wait a second. We need to reverse that.
Well, we scored on that play though.
Was that play?
I don't know which play you're talking
We
about.
scored
to be
on
honest
a
with you.
couple sweeps where I was lead
Right.
blocking.
Well, you done your job then.
I know, and like
Yeah.
there's, I don't remember who was on the sideline, and like you were running the sweep, and they go, bro, he's literally jogging. I was like, you get out there and play every single snap of this game, and
Yeah.
you show me what you can do.
Right.
Who said that?
I don't remember who it was.
Dave's
I
like,
was jogging.
Yeah, like you were running the sweep to our side of the sideline, and then they were like, bro, he's like jogging. I was like, you go out there and do it then.
Well, it was better than the.
Aiden's like, you let me know who that motherfucker is before next practice. So I'll show him jogging.
The
Right up the back of his head.
one of the touchdowns that Ricky had. I mean, he had the guy like 10. He had 10 yards on the dude, and Ricky was like on the 5-yard line, and the dude just said, "Fuck it," threw up his hands. Was like, "I'm done." And that's when like Ricky decided to. He looked back and then tiptoed into the end zone.
Oh god, I love Ricky, dude. He's so good.
His mom's going, he shouldn't be doing that shit. What the hell's he doing? Tiptoeing in the end zone and looking back. Just run it in, damn it.
So
Of
like,
course, you can hear
His
her
mom
from.
is his biggest supporter. There's no doubt.
We were when we first got there, because we had to wait on this guy before we headed down.
fucking
But
Yeah, my bad. I may or may not have been speeding from fucking Clinton all the way down here.
What is that, like an hour?
No, I didn't.
From
realize
Clinton, it's about an hour and 20.
this boy came from Kansas City all the
Yep.
way down to Forsyth.
Speaking of that,
Yeah. 3-hour drive if you
I am
go
not
from
a
Kansas
Chiefs
City to
fan.
Forsyth.
not
He's
that.
a
I wasn't gonna
Raiders
cover that, but you did go watch your nephew's game the other day, or what was that?
Yeah, down in Kansas, and they were up 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. They got about 2 minutes into the second quarter, 15-minute delay for lightning.
Oh wow.
That 15 minutes turned into another 15, into a 30. And then my nephew texted my brother, and he's like, hey, you guys might as well go ahead and head on back, because we were 3 hours from Kansas City.
Oh wow.
And he said, we're on an hour delay, and if we don't end up playing tonight, we'll be back down here tomorrow. And it was 11, like we took off, and it started like storming bad.
Oh, so they,
Like so bad to where my brother was telling two guys in the back, hey, keep looking out the left and right. Let me know if you see a nader,
a
because
nader.
we in nader country.
Heck yeah.
And
we are indeed.
we were probably 10 feet behind a truck that had its flashers on, and there was cones on the left side of the car. That was the only thing you could see. It was coming down that bad.
Holy.
How fast were you guys going?
Maybe 20.
Oh yeah.
Once we got out of it, we saw a tractor trailer on its side. Like
wow.
the wind had came in and swept
Holy.
it.
Wow.
But it was 11:44 when the opposing team finally forfeited.
Oh, so they won.
Oh yeah, I mean, even if they would have went back out there and played, I mean, they went 21-0 in the first quarter.
Oh, right.
They were destroying it. My nephew plays special teams, and he's not the biggest dude, but he makes shit fucking happen. He did.
What'd you tell me he was trying to get the 200 pounds and he just can't quite get there?
Yeah, his freshman year in college.
And he's 5 what?
5'9", 5'8", 5'9", depending on what convenience store he's walking out of. But during high school, he was 185.
Okay.
Strong side linebacker. Started junior and senior year, but he tried because he was lifting hardcore. He was eating healthy, eating a lot,
Yeah.
and he could not get 200 pounds.
Wow.
It sounds like me. I'm stuck at 170 right now.
I cannot get above 130 or like 135.
I was about that when I was your age.
You weren't much bigger than that when we had the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. About 30 pounds. I was about 160.
160, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a thing, Jordan. So you're saying how I couldn't. They said I was jogging.
Yeah.
Running that sweep.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, you can't just go full speed around the edge.
Oh, well, yeah, for sure. I know what you're saying
You
there.
have to look out for your blockers. Like you have to pick a hole and go through it. Like,
Right.
You can't just do it yourself.
Although I have seen Ricky shove blockers out of the way sometimes.
Yeah.
Ricky will truck you.
When he's like going, oh, I got to go.
Yeah.
Well, and it says something when it took like damn near their whole defense to bring Ricky down on one play.
Yeah,
And he was going up the fucking middle.
yeah. And that was
And
including the fat boy in the middle.
yeah.
Yep. That boy could sit on any of us and just be like, we're dead.
Well, and and it's sad. I know shouldn't be picking on kids.
I hate to say
Whatever,
this, but coach should have put one of the JV guys in there and said, chop block.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Take that big guy
you could
out.
see him the entire
he-
time. You could see him the entire time just stand up. That's all he was doing. Like, and we had,
That's what Cragen does.
and we had, who we have SJ over there, and he's small. He's like 5'6". He weighs like probably like 160 ish.
165, 170.
Right, and he's a small boy.
He's a freshman.
He's a freshman, and he's just up there blocking him like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, boy's just big. He's just
Yeah,
big
and
there
this
trying to plug up a
freshman-
hole.
This freshman
Yeah.
plays varsity.
And it.
That tells you how small our school is.
Yeah.
Well, that. I figured, this was the first year you guys played Buffalo.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
First
When.
ever.
Oh, I know. Because when I went to school at Buffalo, Skyline didn't have a football team.
Oh, yeah.
The only sport that Skyline and Buffalo actually played against or competed against was wrestling and track.
Skyline had a wrestling.
Buffalo
Skyline had
had
a
a
soccer
wrestling team
team.
back then?
Yeah, Skyline had a soccer team before we had football.
Because you know all that turf by that one.
'Cause I don't think Buffalo had a wrestling team back then.
I don't know. We played them in baseball.
God, I don't know.
Those
I graduated 30 years ago, and
if Bolivar would have had a wrestling team back when I was in
Yeah,
school,
okay.
I would have been on it.
all right.
Oh, we had to play Bolivar in baseball this year because we went up a class for baseball, and
Yeah.
We went up a class in football because Max Creek.
yeah, but it's gonna be wild against the. We're going against big old schools in baseball because we got a new coach, and he's just picking up games left and right.
Because he's dumb.
Here's
Well,
his big
baseball-
old gym muscles.
Baseball, I can see it being a little different because if you got 9 really good guys, you can compete with anybody.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's not like
Well, that's
football.
kind of how we are because our baseball team's pretty good.
I mean, it's not like football
last
where,
year.
where
We don't got to talk about last year.
if
Were
you
you
got
guys 13 and 15?
11 really
Yeah,
good
something like
guys,
that. It was bad.
if you got 11 really good guys and you're playing both sides of the ball, and you go up against a team that's got 11 guys on offense, 11 guys on defense, and different guys playing special teams that are pretty good,
Yeah.
by the second half, you guys are freaking worn the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm always like, because like third quarter when they got up, like second, I don't know. That's like when we're all like wore out, like when it comes to that time,
Yeah.
because like
Well,
everyone
it's-
starting on offense is always starting on defense as well.
It's like I told your Grammy before the kickoff of the second half. I was like, I hope they don't let this get away from them in the second half like they have the last 2 weeks, because Fairgrove was close until half.
Yep.
Buffalo was close until half.
We had the lead.
Yeah, and
Buffalo.
then it's like,
Fairgrove were only done by like 3 points, weren't we?
Yeah.
yeah, and then the first kickoff Guy runs it back. It's like, oh shit, this ain't good. And then he kicked it. It wasn't really an onside. It was more of a squib. And the guy that the ball went to, I don't remember who it was. He was like, "What the fuck?" And he missed it, and they got it back on like the 30.
What game are you talking about?
Let's just say our hands
Friday
team
night.
is not the best.
Yeah.
Well, that was just he was just talking about our KOR, our kickoff return, and
Well,
that was
our front line can't do anything.
Well, I mean, that was
Yeah,
that
that's
wasn't
right.
like I say that wasn't really an onside after they ran it back for the touchdown.
that was between
the next one he
Tyler
kicked
Henry.
it down and
What are
it
you talking about?
yeah.
Tyler-
Yeah, went
no,
right in between his legs.
I think that's Jacob. I thought that was Jacob.
I don't remember. Who
Jacob
it
shifted
was,
over
but
after that.
Yeah.
He muffed
Jacob's
it.
in the front line in the middle.
He muffed it. They got it back and then they scored. I'm like, oh, Jesus, this is not what I wanted.
I know,
Yeah,
like,
and
as
it
soon as
was-
come out.
But then you guys came back though, and let's say,
Yeah,
lost by one,
I mean,
so
when they had 21 unanswered points.
Listen, it was 35-34, and we had a fourth down that we could have stopped them on, but it was 4th and inches,
Yeah.
and they just ran it up the middle.
Yeah.
No, I,
That's what they did most of the time anyway with
mean,
their quarterback.
right. But I mean, when they kicked off after their second touchdown, I mean that because they did it on the first one. They did a fucking onside kick.
Yep.
That should have been fucking key. Hey, it's going to happen again.
What-
Because that kid, their kicker, he had a fucking leg.
yeah, he
but-
could have kicked it out of the back of the end zone anytime he wanted.
In the first half, he was kicking it down the field. Come back second half, he wasn't. He was no, he wasn't.
They're like, don't kick it to 21 or 3.
Yeah,
Literally,
Because
well,
they'll run it back.
the coach pre-advanced everyone that like the
Yeah.
onside was coming, so like they should have been ready. Like I'm on the front line on the left side.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was like, all right, just kick the ball to me. Let's
You
just
want to
get
know
this.
how
Let's just
bad
get this
they
going.
double team Ricky? I'll be on this side of the
Oh,
field, right? We're on offense. I'll be on this side of the field, and I'll hear the coach saying, "Richard Woodhouse is on the other side of the field. Richard Woodhouse is on the other side of the field." So they'll shift over
Uh huh.
just to cover him.
Yep.
Which they have to worry about like they have to worry about you, and then they have to worry about like Sam Miller
Yeah.
going down like the sideline. Like he had
Which
what like
we
two
ran
receptions,
Hawaii
touchdowns.
all, but coach told me and Sam to run a hitch and go, which is 5 yards stop and then run a go,
There you go, yeah.
and we got them on that. We scored on that play.
Yeah.
Which that was good because there was a couple of, like, well, what I understand is like Ricky's AJ's like main priority to like get the ball to him.
Yeah.
But then there's also you open up like with the fade on the other side, and then Sam has this guy beat on a stop and go.
Yeah.
But
There was one play I noticed in particular. I think they tried to get it to Sam, but I'm looking. I'm like, Aiden standing in the end zone all by himself.
like
What the hell?
in the one where AJ he was in the backfield and he almost got sacked, and then he came back over here and he like just threw the ball up to Ricky when Aiden and Sam are going over here doing a slant and like they're open, but Ricky has two guys guarding them, and then like, he tips it up and then he intercepts it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know. It's just
This is Monday morning quarterbacking right here.
yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
or Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Saturday night.
whatever.
Forget about it.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. So yeah,
Wear,
Monday.
wear my shirt for you there, Dwight.
Because James has no other black shirts.
Oh.
Yeah. That's all I own is black shirts.
I don't fit in. I'm the only one not wearing black.
I'll take off my hoodie here. In a
I should have
minute.
just wore my blindside tank top.
All right, there you go.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but you didn't.
Yep.
Hey, now.
So, what do you guys think about the NFL season going on so far?
Did y'all see Kenny Pickett? No, George Pickett. What is that wide receiver? Steelers wide receiver.
He's
I don't
number
know.
19. He took Juju
one-handed-
Smith-Schuster. He's the rookie this year,
Did y'all
actually.
see that one-handed catch against the Browns?
I did. I've seen that.
That was crazy.
That was absolutely insane.
That was, I mean, Odell didn't have nothing on that catch.
That was
Because it was
wild.
like behind his head, twisted.
Twisted all the
snagged
way
it.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a crazy
It was
catch.
weird. It was wild. I didn't see it live
Yeah.
because I was working late, but Amanda and Ed had it on, and I'm listening to sports talk on the radio on the way home.
It was George Pickens. My bad.
George Pickens, And they were talking about he totally nailed that catch and da 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 da. And I'm like, okay. So I got home and was like, did you guys see a catch a while ago? And Amanda's like, yes, you got to see that again. And she rewound it back. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
What did there was a thing going on or going out, and it was you just got beat by a guy that had a backup center, 2 third-string left tackles, no starting wide receivers, no wife, no kids, a busted tablet, and he's 45 years old. What's your excuse?
Yeah,
and of course there's the picture of Brady.
Yeah.
And
Did his wife leave him or what? Or what's?
There's rumors going around that they're getting a
Oh,
divorce.
and it said, and
do
he
not like
also
Tom Brady.
missed 11 days of spring training
Yeah.
or training camp.
OTAs or whatever. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I think he
the
got plastic surgery. No, I'm just kidding.
the big
They showed a deal. He's done something.
Yeah,
I think
had
he's
to.
drinking. I think he's drinking virgin blood or something. Because they showed a picture of him in 2001,
yeah.
and then a picture today, and he literally looks younger. It's like
This guy's trying to be immortal.
he
There
may be
can
in
be-
soap operas. Because if you ever notice, soap opera stars never freaking age.
Or he's a Highlander.
Steroids.
There could be only one.
That's right.
No, steroids usually make the faces all puffy and
Really?
they get, and get back zits and shit. And
Did y'all see
Well,
the Eagles'
and
performance?
he's not big enough.
yeah, he.
Oh, to have steroids. Yeah, he's
Well, I
small.
mean, because steroids. I mean, fuck. You go back and you look at Lyle Alzado from
Well,
the fucking Raiders.
Maybe he's doing
breaking
steroids.
tables.
Maybe he's doing steroids, but not lifting.
Well,
But why would you do steroids?
yeah. Well, there's
Because all they do is help you recover, so you can lift more sooner.
yeah. Which I don't know. So did you hear? This guy spent a whole bunch of money on Tom Brady's. So like when he retired, right? He spent so much money on his last football. Okay.
And it's worth
And
nothing
then,
now.
and then he got back, and I'm just like, "Bro, that boy must feel dumb.
Yeah, because that ball is worth nothing,
Nothing now.
Right.
Well, speaking of balls, Albert Pujols, when he hit his 298th home run, the people that caught it,
698.
or 698, I'm sorry. I've had a couple of drinks. Hit his 698th. The people that caught it waited afterwards and wanted to give it back to him because he thought he might want to keep it. And he goes, no. And he signed that ball and 4 or 5 more balls and gave them back to him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, he sounds like a great guy.
I think.
Back on the topic of
I bet
baseball.
he kept number 700 though.
Did you got it?
If he got it, I
If he got
know.
it, yeah.
Well,
I know Todd McFarlane has McGuire's number 70, and he actually got McGuire to sign it. And because I don't know about like Bonds, but I know with McGuire and Sosa when they were on that home run race, there were special balls given to the pitchers because they were getting so close. And it had there was something on it that distinguished it separate from the regular baseballs. That way they could track if
Like a serial
legit
number or something on it.
right,
okay.
right, legit. Hey, this is home run number, whatever.
Right.
But I thought
It wasn't a special juice ball then.
no,
Okay.
no. I know Todd McFarlane paid $1 million for number 70.
Well,
Which, yeah, because number 62
what?
Too
is
much
in the
money.
Hall of Fame. His jersey, his bat, that ball is in the Hall of Fame.
of course, $1 million to Todd McFarlane would be like if I gave Aiden $20 for his first touchdown ball.
Too late.
Yeah.
No touchdowns for him.
I have one.
Yeah.
It's clever last year.
Oh yeah. Hey, speaking of clever,
We're playing clever
This week.
This week, and we will win.
will win.
What's Clever's? What's their?
They suck.
No, what's their
Bluebirds.
mascot?
Bluebirds.
Bluebirds.
Yep.
Right. Clever Bluebirds.
How can you be a football team and be a Bluebird?
I don't know. It's kind of like Colcamp. Colcamp's Bluebirds as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
I mean,
what was-
Cardinals are kind of mean looking, like on the side of the helmet, but a Bluebird.
I don't know.
What was? I thought Forsyth was
Forsyth
like
was the Panthers.
blue. Oh yeah,
they're the
yeah.
Panthers.
Forsyth Panthers.
You know what? Every
Blue
time
and
they
black.
That stuff got me going.
Stoner's mom was going. Every time they do that, it sounds like they're flushing shit down the toilet.
Their cheerleaders behind us got me. Oh, they were so annoying. Because they had. Never mind.
Little short skirts on.
No, I was gonna talk about someone on their cheer squad, but I don't want to get. Into that.
The yell leader.
Yes, that person. I was about to say. That person talking. He. I mean.
That person.
Never mind.
They.
He come they.
I was like, what? No.
I tried to get this.
So, from your perspective out there, we talked about it a little bit last night. Could you hear the Skyline fans in the stands?
Oh yeah, for sure. They were loud.
Yeah.
I tried to get a chant going.
Like the defense chant was loud.
There's a chant that the student body up there where my nephew went to school. Anytime the other team does something, that
Draw a flag.
draws a flag and it costs some yardage or whatnot, the student body, and it's like all the schools. You can't do that.
Do.
And
Yeah,
I
we
mean
did that,
the
like volleyball
whole
and everything.
the whole student body gets involved with it, and it's like, holy shit! And then the whole crowd gets involved with it. And I was trying to get that when they were having the personal fouls and.
Well, you was just sitting there going, "You can't do that." If you'd have yelled
Yeah.
it, everybody might have been like, "Yeah."
Or when I stood up and yelled "fuck" at the referee. The fuck.
Kind of sounds like
I think
Ricky's mom.
Yeah, it sounds like Ricky's mom just screaming.
I think what we need to do is a chant that Aiden and I heard years ago, and the only people in the stands that would even know what it meant would be you and me and your brother if he was there. Yoga pants.
Yoga pants. Oh,
Oh,
TCW.
TCW wrestling.
Oh yeah. Guy carried around. He had yoga pants and he carried around a teddy bear.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Best combos right there. I tell
Yes.
you what.
And they recorded 3 television shows at that taping, I think it was. It was like, what was it? It was like $20 to go to, it was at the Shrine Mosque.
Yeah.
And they had a big tarp over the middle of the Shrine Mosque. And they had us all set on the opposite of hard camera side, so it looked like a full house. And they recorded 3 hours of TV. Or 2 hours. It was there all fucking night.
Yeah, it was,
It was
long.
like, okay, this is cool. And it's like, at the first one, it's like, all right. Then they recorded the next show, and it's like, okay, cool. Oh, we got another show?
Another
Bitch.
show?
You know,
Go home.
we're watching the storyline keep going,
Yeah.
I mean, one guy was a baby face and turned heel, and
Yeah.
I think it was a baby face again before the third one was over. You know?
I don't even know what I'm watching right now. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of like the refs that you were talking about earlier when you
Yeah.
screamed that, we were all on the sidelines and everyone was just screaming at the refs because how many fouls? I mean, how many penalties did we get called on us?
Yeah.
And then how many holdings did they have, or like the pass interference that we were talking about, like with Ricky and
Dude,
stuff?
no,
Yeah.
the refs were throwing flags left and right. Oh my god.
Well-
all night.
Or they're throwing a flag and then my bad.
Like the one in the end zone,
Yeah. Dude threw it behind him.
and then literally picked it up and then like put it in his pocket like nothing even happened.
Yeah.
Like
Hey, dipshit. It's almost as bad as
The technology is
can't
not
do
that
that.
hard
No,
anymore.
the coach was like,
They need
on the mic or
They
something.
need
He was
mics on them, some bitches.
You
like
remember
they do in
I
the
sent
NFL.
you that $20, right?
Yeah.
that
I'll-
$20. Yeah, I forgot. This is a high school game, right?
Hey,
$20.
Hey, $20 is $20.
Yeah.
that's right.
Fair enough. That's right.
And well, I made this comment last night. you know, the chain gang and everything,
Yep.
talking about that school my nephew played last weekend. You know, they were still using the flip numbers and everything. The high school where he went to high school, yeah, they have the electronic.
The electronic ones are cool.
That's what
fuck
Fairgrove
yeah.
had. Fairgrove had
Yeah.
the electronic ones.
Yeah,
And it's like-
I'm like, what?
How? Oh,
Fairgrove did everything
the
obnoxious.
All they do is spend money on their football.
They had fireworks.
Literally
A high school
fireworks.
team.
And then we went to like Kabul, and they had like 3 fire trucks
Yeah, that every time they scored, they
and like
just
an
go
ambulance.
off.
And I'm just like, yeah, and they like had the sirens go on and everything.
No, well, what happened is if they scored, the sirens would go off and people would honk their horns and flash their lights, and it was so.
Yeah, because part of their viewing was parking around the field.
oh, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like we were literally in a prison.
Because their field is literally in like a hill. They cut it
Yeah.
out of a hill, and on one side you have a wall,
Like of concrete.
and on the other side
Oh.
there's like 3 feet of sideline and then a fence.
I
Like,
was gonna say,
and it was
it's 3 feet sideline that you guys are sliding in because
Yeah, and it was of course raining, so the whole thing
it
was
was the
just
hill was a mud
pit.
slit. Like everyone was sliding down it.
Yeah.
One of our water boys had like white shoes on, and
dumbass.
literally
water boys or water girls.
water boys.
Oh.
But he
I
was.
mean, you got water girls too.
Well, yeah, he was wearing his shoes, and like he was like sliding down it, and his shoes just got all muddy and everything. And that's when I started. That's when I started O line, and that was obnoxious.
Anyways, let's get off the topic of Kabul because it was a shit game.
Yeah, we can stop talking about that.
I just
It wasn't the game itself, but just sitting there in the crowd sucked too because
Yeah.
just like fuck. Luckily, Rich brought his little canopy thing. We were kind of halfway staying dry.
Was that you guys up there in that?
Yeah.
I was wondering who brought that. I thought it might have been like them. And I was like,
No,
what
that-
are they
no,
doing?
That was Ricky's
Yeah,
dad.
and
That's awesome.
to say that their stands were small and they didn't even have an away bleachers.
oh, you mean like Forsyth?
Yeah. No, Kabul.
No, I know.
Well, Forsyth doesn't have it away
But-
bleachers either.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Forsyth
Forsyth had
bigger-
big bleachers, though.
Yeah. But I mean, and it was weird seeing
Well, 'cause
a
the-
football field without a track around it, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
but no,
Like
they're-
Forsyth's?
That's
Yeah.
their
Forsyth's
baseball
field
field.
is
Yeah.
a baseball field connected to the football field. That's kind of like the Raiders' old field.
Oakland.
Yeah.
Something crazy about that.
I was looking at that, and the 15-yard line is the first base foul line.
Yeah.
Yep. But so when you play baseball there, they don't bring a fence in.
Oh yeah.
Okay, they don't bring a fence in for like home runs. So like if you hit one past like center field, like a center fieldsman, then it's gone. Like there's no going back to it. Like they can't get it. It's like a home run because the ball just keeps on going.
Right. So, but I mean, there's a fence there for the football field.
Yeah, that's where it is.
That's where it is.
That's
yeah.
where it
So
is.
that's
Like there's no other fence
I
there.
think that's
about,
just dumb.
about 500 feet to that fence.
Yeah, it's,
I'm still confused how they kept finding those footballs for the kickoff or for when they kicked the
well,
field
they
goals.
had like
Yeah.
4 guys go out.
They'd kick it over the net and it just go
How
into
many?
the woods.
How many? Okay, let's talk about that subject. How many are you allowed per game?
Balls?
Balls. Yeah.
Well, you can bring a ball, like a
ball bag.
Right.
Everybody
Yeah, you can have as
has-
many as you want.
So we have our own balls
I mean,
that we
you-
use on offense, and then
Right.
they have theirs.
Right. So,
Well-
but there's not a limit of balls that you can.
No.
They had
Okay.
like 4 kids going in there and looking for it.
Well, and that's what's
I would not have went down there last
No.
night looking for freaking balls in the goddamn timber.
Yeah, they had like 3 junior high kids run
like-
out the back gate and go and look.
There's like rattlesnakes and all kinds of shit down in there. Screw that.
Scorpions.
yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like, you want to be on the team next year? Go get the ball. And I'm like, okay, I'll play baseball. Fuck you.
All right. On that note, I think we've pretty much beat this horse into submission.
Congratulations, Albert Pujols. Glad you're a Cardinal to do this.
Yes, and you did it in Dodger Stadium. So,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
but you have just saw another episode of Stewham Productions presents,
J&M, solve the world. I am James.
and I am Matt.
One's down, baby.
And for Jaden and Jordan and Aiden, keep one fist in the gold, one foot in the gutter, and we will see you next time.
Peace out.